Yo, YouTube, what is going on? So, I'm gonna have to do a reaction video here. I have a video that I want to edit. However, it's about 40-50 minutes long, so you know how that kind of goes. And I actually want it to be entertaining, so I'm putting a lot of edits into it. I have a bunch of things to do right now, but that's besides the point. We're gonna look at the Joey Swoll situation is sad. Let's jump straight into it by Novely. I already liked the video, so yeah, let's check it out.
If you're going to attack me, you better go after the colored athletes and the people that are black and minority that went and posted him as well.
Recently, Joey Swoll has been coming under fire to a career-ending point where a lot of people are pointing at him and laughing and also criticizing him due to a couple of crazy situations he's put himself in after Hulk Hogan's passing, where he ended up posting a photo of himself to it, and then after getting a little bit of backlash because of it, went on live and made some insane remarks, even referring to black people as colored and stating that he didn't know what he was doing when he did that. A lot of people were genuinely upset, and I just wanted to dive in and talk about the situation. But in order to do that, we have to start from the very beginning with how this even all started and who.
I'm trying to figure out what game this is. My bad.
Videos like this really piss me off.
Yeah, he was a guy calling out these girls.
I'm sick and tired of seeing staff at the gym, especially those that clean, be disrespected and treated like this. These people deserve nothing but our gratitude and our respect. You say you can't make this up. I'm sorry, I can't believe that you're a grown woman that doesn't know better than to make fun of a cleaning lady for doing her job.
Joey Swoll, in essence, is a gym cop. He makes videos on TikTok criticizing people who have not only bad behavior in the gym, but are obviously only going there for attention and making anybody around them uncomfortable, or like in that video, talking bad about the staff that is only trying to help. Criticizing people when telling them not only to do better, but do not go around posting videos like this to get some type of gratitude for what they're doing, when in all reality, they're just looking for attention, and it's not right. Not only that, but on his platform, he also praises a lot of good gym behavior he sees. Anybody lending a good hand or anybody teaching somebody how to use gym equipment they don't understand. He also makes a video about showing what good gym etiquette actually looks like and praising it and hoping that his followers or anybody else that goes to the gym that happens to see it will replicate this behavior.
I have a belt you can use if you want it. I have a belt for the sled, so it goes around your waist, so rather than pull it from the TRX, yeah, if you want to try.
Just a regular belt?
Yeah, honestly, keep it. Keep it. No, keep it. It's okay.
Do that.
No, I swear it's fine.
Yeah,
Absolutely love this video. Want to kick the weekend off with some good, positive gym culture. So many people tagged me on this video that my name is literally in the search bar for it. How cool is that? This isn't the first time I've done a video on Shireen because she is the absolute best. If anybody deserves to have millions and millions of followers on social media, it's
I might have an
This
ad
type of
pop up.
content would get Joey Swoll to over 1 million followers on TikTok and make him the most notable gym critic on the platform. Unfortunately for him, it seems like his career is taking a complete nosedive after his most recent events in reaction to Hulk Hogan's passing. As after this all got announced that Hulk Hogan was gone, he actually went on Twitter and ended up posting an old video of him in Hulk Hogan characters, I understand dressing up as, but an actual person. This is crazy levels of fandom that no one really needs to reach, especially when it comes to Hulk Hogan, who wasn't even a good person to begin with. He was a known racist and done terrible things. So after he passed, when a lot of people were giving him grace or talking bad about him, Joey Swoll was over here posting things like this. And just so y'all get the picture of how bad of a person he was, I'm gonna read you a direct.
Yeah, my bad. I don't know why my pause took so long. Yeah, Hulk Hogan had some pretty nasty things that he did. Of course, the internet is so spiteful. It remembers all, and it will remember your flaws when you should be resting in peace. It will remember the black marks and the stains on your legacy. And now I'm not going to sit here and say that the man deserves it or he doesn't deserve it, but the internet is a slippery slope, but once they get a hold of certain things, man, oh, dude. That's why I was saying, if you guys follow my TikTok, certain things on the internet, you just got to be careful with, man. Whether that's talking about dating partners, whether that's whatever, so.
Direct quote of something he said. I mean, I'd rather if she was going to some I'd rather have her marry an
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
this
Let's
is not
get
a
on.
good
Let's get
guy.
on.
And he said even worse, outrageous things. So when you see somebody like Joey Swoll, whose whole message is positivity and pushing good culture, especially when it comes to gyms or just in general, you get a little bit confused because it doesn't make any real sense. So obviously people were going to confront him about this. And it actually happened on one of his lives where he slipped up and made one of the worst decisions after
Damn,
already
Joey.
making a terrible decision.
Listen, I can post Hulk Hogan if I want to. Just because somebody makes a mistake in their life doesn't mean that they haven't done good things. I don't know what he did, and he said something 20 years ago and apologized for it. If you're gonna attack me, you better go after the colored athletes and the people that are black and minority that went and posted him as well. Okay, the man was not.
You see, man, this is where having a PR guy comes in. Like, I'm not famous, and I do at some point in time know that if I do blow up on YouTube or get a good amount of traction on YouTube, I am going to have to stop making certain jokes and remarks. I already try to steer clear of stuff like that, but this is just not having PR training at its finest. You can't come out and say anything about black folks. You can't come out and say anything about Jewish folks. You can't come out and say anything about Native American folks. Like, you should just know that already. You can't say stuff about gay folks. Even if it might be a stereotype that in a lot of cases is actually true, you just can't say anything about it. That's the world we live in. So you have to move in a certain kind of way. I do respect the fact that Joey is unapologetic, because it sounds like he doubles down on these things, but at the same time, I'm gonna be honest, this is disgusting behavior. This is like, if you actually do see something that crazy, you could have been like, hey, look, I don't personally agree with it, but hey, man, Hulk Hogan, he was a real good wrestler, bro. That's how I knew him. Keep it brief, keep it simple, you know. But hey, who am I to say? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe you guys have a different opinion. Leave that in the comments below.
Nice to me. He made a mistake. I'm not God. People make mistakes in life. If you got a problem with that, look at yourself. There's not one single person in here that hasn't made a mistake in their life. So
Go look at the colored athletes that are supporting him too. That is a crazy choice of words. You can't tell me he doesn't understand why that's an issue at his grown age. There's just no real way. Along with the fact of him saying he just made a mistake. His whole content is criticizing people. He's talking about how what they do should be changed, yet he just seems like it's just one mistake. Everyone makes a mistake, so does it really matter? So what's even the point of making your content? Because if everyone makes mistakes, who really cares? It just seems like he was being pretty hypocritical and not really understanding what he was saying or why what he was doing was bad, genuinely. And then on TikTok we have a bunch of people sending a bunch of hate trains to him with a bunch of think pieces explaining why he is in the complete wrong.
Hulk Hogan was a racist, steroid-amped rodeo clown who represented everything wrong with America, and that's why I didn't really care when I heard the news of his passing. I didn't even make a video on it when the news had first broke. That's how much I didn't care. I didn't.
Remember this Bible verse, guys. For the love of many shall wax cold. Now, that's not the entirety of the verse, but whenever you hear things like this, remember when Kevin Samuels died? Remember when all these other people died and people were making videos literally celebrating that these people died? What happened to the world where even if you didn't like that person, the fact that they passed, you could give a moment of silence. Like, we weren't just coming out on the internet saying, man, I'm glad such and such is dead, or this or that or whatever. Like, man, that's the times we live in, guys.
Smile, grin, chuckle, and there were certainly no tears when I heard the news.
And once again, I already know, because people are coming from the Carnival Cruise video, this is not me trying to be racist. I'm a black person myself. I'm not saying that I agree with what Hulk Hogan was saying. Like I told you, I just knew him as that guy who was a wrestler. I know he had times where he was a really entertaining guy on WWE, and outside of that, that was it. I never really did any digging to see what Hulk Hogan was doing for real. And do I think that Joey Swoll should get canceled for stuff like that? Yeah, his statement wasn't the best statement, but I think, you know, like, hey, that's how he feels about it. Let's not demonize the guy to all hell. Like, he's not doing blackface. He's not saying that, oh, you N-words, or he's not saying hard R's. You know, like, come on.
If anything, I was just disappointed that Hulk Hogan had managed to last that long. So imagine my surprise when
That's pretty
Joey
OD.
Swoll, the fitness community's golden boy, is on a live stream ready to risk his whole career and livelihood defending a man who is a documented racist. Like multiple times over. He's been caught multiple times expressing his clear and intense disdain for African Americans. And the fact that I saw Joey Swoll dismiss those remarks as just a mere mistake, Hulk Hogan is a grown-ass man. But that's not a mistake. That's just who the Hulkster was. A hateful, insecure little man. And who cares anyway? Grown men are held accountable to their mistakes all the time. Matter of fact, hold on, Joey Swoll, you built your career off of holding people accountable to their mistakes. So you should understand why people are mad at you right now. Don't act like you don't know what's going on. And then the audacity of him to tell people to go get mad at all of the colored athletes, his words not mine, who also publicly posted and grieved for Hulk Hogan. First of all, deflecting.
I mean, because let's be honest. If he would have said, go take a look at all the black athletes who support him, they would have said, like, oh, man, he said this. Like I said, that statement, period, Joey Swoll just shouldn't have said that. Like, he really shouldn't have. That's just what it is, unfortunately. Like, you cannot mess with the beehive. There are certain beehives in the community or in our society that if you hit them, you stir them, that's it. Like, that's it. They're out to get you, and they're out to ruin your livelihood and ruin your life. And like this young man's talking about, you can hear how he expressed certain things, his disdain, to the point where he didn't even care that somebody died. Like, hey. And like I said, I'm not excusing anybody, but still, it's a very interesting take. That's all I have to say about that.
In 101. Second of all, we got beef with them too, now what? Very disappointing news all around. But some people can't cope with the idea of their idol being a bad person. It is what it is, but he normally makes good content, so I hope he comes to his senses.
Woo! Can I get your email address?
I already knew it. Don't worry, guys. I am going to work and figure out something so that I can either not have to go through the premium thing with YouTube. I might have to set that up with Brave. I don't know. But I'm going to figure something out, guys. And if you all know, let me know in the comment section below.
Honest here, I don't feel like Joey Swoll, if his content wasn't the way that it was, he wouldn't be catching as much flack. Yes, people will still look at him and be like, he is definitely a weirdo, and it's odd that he is defending Hulk Hogan, but because Joey Swoll built his entire content on not only holding people accountable, but calling out the weird actions of others, all of a sudden he just seems like he doesn't want to do that anymore, and he can't hold anyone accountable, especially himself. It's gonna have been a cool teaching moment to show that, hey, even people like him make mistakes. And
yeah, you know, and Novely's not wrong. The thing with Joey Swoll that I can remember, I don't know why I have like an accent when I say that. We really resonated with him for calling out the women who did that nasty gym culture where they would be flashing their butts or doing some very provocative moves in the gym or wearing some very skimpy outfits, and then trying to say that men were creeps, because we kind of get where that comes from. They'll say that guys who are unattractive or whatnot that they don't like are creeps, but then if there was a guy who was her type or whatnot that came up and he glanced at her or whatnot, she'd be in another video talking about, guys, my gym crush just looked at me today or whatever the heck. Like, you know how that kind of stuff goes. And it's like, well, how can anybody determine if the look was good if all guys looking at you is a creep, but then this one guy does it and then, like, because you like him, it's acceptable. So that's why we are resonated with him. But I never really knew Joey Swoll outside of his gym ethics, like him wanting to keep gym ethics going on and speaking up for people at the gym and stuff like that. I didn't really know him for like, oh yeah, he's holding people accountable and all this and that, you know. But I guess that falls into it.
He still needs to be held accountable. Yet it just seems like he's brushing that all off and not truly caring. It's definitely sad. And it got to the point where he was getting so much flack that he ended up posting an apology.
I owe my followers, my community, and all of social media an apology. A few days ago, I reposted an old video of me in the gym wearing a Hulk Hogan Halloween costume on the day that he passed. Last night in my live stream, a lot of people expressed how upset and frustrated they were with me that I had posted that. Instead of listening and understanding like I should have, I became defensive and said that I was posting to celebrate the wrestling icon, the person that so many of us looked up to as kids that we grew up with, that made us tear our shirts and take our vitamins and say our prayers. I didn't know to the extent of all the horrible things that he had done. Since last night, I have done a lot of research, talked to a few people, and learned all of the horrible things that man has done, which is way more than just making a mistake and being human. So because of that, I have taken the videos down, and I apologize to anybody that I offended, I am sorry. Also, during last night's live stream, I used the word colored instead of saying person of color, which is a very outdated, very offensive term. A few moments later, somebody educated me and told me that it wasn't okay to use that, which I immediately apologized to everyone and said I would never do that again. So once again, to anybody that I offended, I am sorry. You know, my whole page, my whole brand is based.
You know what? I respect that. I can respect that, chat. I can respect somebody who can honest to God understand that, hey, they might have offended you, they might have been wrong, they might have done whatever, and to have that accountability to say, hey, look, I'm wrong. I was wrong for, approaching, I forget, that's not even the word. I'm wrong for offending you or for entering your space to do something that you didn't approve of and things of that nature like that. That's a really strong and powerful man there. But let's get back into the rest of this.
On holding people accountable and doing better.
Okay.
I would be a hypocrite if I didn't hold myself to the same standards. I am human, I am still growing, I am still learning, and I promise all of you, I will do better. I have nothing but love and kindness in my heart. I will continue to try to make the world a better place. And once again, to everybody, I apologize.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what I expected it to be, but this apology just seems pretty flat and bland, like any other influencer apology.
My bad, Novely. My bad. Or maybe I'm just that willing to forgive people because maybe I have a heart. But it seems like Novely wants this guy Joey to, do a couple of backflips and cartwheels. He needs to be throwing swords up in the air as they're on fire, just like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry. He needs to be on his knee as there's 100 black people around him, and he's just like, I'm so sorry, my black kings and queens, I'm so sorry. The man came out and he apologized. Now, once again, I'm not going to get too political here, but I think it was a genuine apology that he said, minus all that lip licking he was doing. He surely was over here. Yeah, and I really do apologize for stuff like that. Dude, what are you doing? But still, that's probably his thing when he's nervous, or probably what it is what he does. Some people when they're talking, they don't like to make eye contact, and it does make them look a lot less trustworthy. But they have to throw their eyes somewhere because they can't just stare you in the face. Not just because it might be like a lie, but because it makes them feel more comfortable.
You can never convince me that someone
I need to get my
understand
rest.
that color
I would try
is
to.
not a bad term. I guess if you need to be educated on that, then that's what it is. Then also the thing with Hulk Hogan, it's one Google search away. You're telling me that there was at no point in time where you were able to find out about this information? Literally, you knew his entire slogan, but yet didn't do any type of research to find out.
I mean, it's easy, man. I didn't know until he died.
Crazy to see, but at least he is posting an apology. Some people might have just saw the backlash and just kept it pushing and done nothing. I can give him a little bit of leeway for that. But moving forward, I don't think this is genuinely a career ender for Joey Swoll. If he just doesn't post or talk about it for the next week, people will instantly forget about it.
Yeah, man. But people will keep on bringing it up though, just to get clips.
Weird for doing this, and if he genuinely needed education on certain topics, that's one thing. But I feel like the things that he says he doesn't know about is pretty common knowledge that literally anybody would know about. Even with the Hulk Hogan stuff, if you didn't know, it'd been better to take some time, find out, research it before crashing out on a live stream that was literally sponsored, showing off products that you were selling. As long as he does better, people will definitely forgive him. But at the end of the day, that's just how I feel. And if you want to tell me how you feel, the best place to do would be
the comment section below. All right, beautiful people, beautiful men, beautiful ladies. Don't take that out of context. I'll see y'all in the next one. Like, share, subscribe. And once again, if you guys know how I can go ahead and have YouTube without the ads, without having to pay for premium, let me know about that stuff in the comments below. If not, I'll just go ahead and pay for premium or try to set it up on Brave. Other than that, like, share, subscribe, check out my other content. I'm very close to being monetized on this channel. So guys, I would thank you that if you can just go ahead, recommend my channel to other family members and friends that might be interested in this kind of stuff, and watch some of my videos, man. Especially the longer style videos, because those are the ones that I'm not gonna say I put in the most work into, but I do try to put in as much work as I can and all these things that I'm uploading. So yeah, it goes a long way for me. You guys might actually get to see a smaller guy kind of get monetized and then blow up from here. So if you want to be a part of that process, you know what to do. Check out my Discord links, check out my streaming links and all that stuff. And yeah, see you next time. Peace.